So maybe the big name for me, really, because Goodwillie was going to be huge shoes to fill. But I think he's managed to do that quite a bit. But I agree completely with Stephen there, what he says. You know, they have to go and attack. But if there's anybody who's looking worried this afternoon, it's maybe Mr. White is as well, because you want a run in this. Because to be fair and to be absolutely honest, but this is Rangers' best chance of silverware for me this season. So they have to go out and they have to give a good account. So we were chatting beforehand, the conversation just went on to defenders and what you need for defenders. And what you do need is a bit of experience. And if I look at Rangers' defence, there's a decent amount of experience in there, and that's going to be important from right now to the end of the season. Keeping the likes of Bocanegra, obviously Goya and Papac together, it's important for them. Especially today, as I say, because I think that's an attack-minded United side.
Derek, you know Ali McCoist well. How much pressure is he feeling at the moment, do you reckon?
Well, I think he is feeling, a bit frustrated, but he wouldn't ever let that show. You know, he knows he's got to try and get the best out of his boys at the minute, and I think previous seasons, Walter Smith never had a lot of money to spend, or any money to spend, and still managed to keep Rangers at the top of the tree and pick up titles. I think even the gaffer would allude to the fact that Coyce has got a real tough job here. He's trying to kind of keep everything settled ship, and he's still trying to churn out results. It's unfortunate that he's got this opportunity to be a manager, a job he's always wanted, but nobody ever said it was going to be easy, and he's up for the challenge, and he'll be in there making sure the importance of bringing success to Rangers. And as Pat said, I think he's right, this possibly could be Rangers' best chance of silverware this year, so I think Rangers will be certainly motivated enough, and I'm sure they'll see that in the performance.
A place in the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup at stake for either Rangers or Dundee United. Our commentary team, Billy Dodds, who also played with both of today's teams, alongside Liam McLeod.
Thanks, Rob. Good afternoon. It's just about as difficult a tie as Rangers could have wished for, really. 23 years have passed since they last beat Dundee United in the Scottish Cup. 4 meetings since then, including the 1994 final. The Tangerines have won 3 of them. The other was a draw right here in the quarter-finals. United went on to lift the trophy for the second time in their history, just a couple of seasons ago. So with that in mind, the fact United were the last domestic team to beat Rangers here, and given it has been another traumatic week with his top scorer being sold, Ali McCoist would probably have rather faced someone else today. United themselves, though, looking for a pick-me-up. Only Airdrie United have been beaten this year as they slipped out of the top 6 in the SPL, and despite their recent Scottish Cup record over Rangers, an away tie to one of the Old Firm sides is the one the other top-flight teams dread. The headline news for Rangers, I suppose, is a first start for the Swedish under-21 international Mervyn Celik. Johnny Aluko's been a revelation since arriving this winter, and there's clearly now a big onus on David Healy post-Jelavic. 4 of that Dundee United side have a Scottish Cup winners' medal from 2 years ago. Pernice, Kenneth, Robertson and Daly all played in the final win over Ross County. Robbie Nielsen also has a medal. He was in the Hearts team that beat Gretna in 2006. Well, new United signing Milos Lachny makes the bench. He is on loan from Sparta Prague in the Czech Republic. Greg Wild is back in the bench for the host. Salim Kerkar scored in the last round win at Arbroath. Referees Willie Collin, who's taken charge of Scottish Cup semi-finals in each of the last 2 seasons. Peter Houston will be delighted that Johnny Russell's still at Dundee United. There was talk, there was reports he wouldn't be a United player going into the second half of last season, and still in Tangerine. In blue now, Mervyn Celik. Big day for him. He did come on for his debut against Hibernian last week. But the 21-year-old who arrived from GAIS Gothenburg has a chance on the right-hand side, we think, today. Billy Dodds with me this afternoon. Former striker of note for both teams. Billy, how's it going to go?
Well, it's certainly a tough tie for Rangers in the condition and the situation they're in just now. I don't think this would particularly be their first choice, but anyway, Dundee United doing okay, very capable, very attacking, got players in their team that can hurt Rangers. You think if Rangers play to their capabilities, they could get through the tie, but certainly United dangerous opponents there.
So no more Jelavic for Rangers, but as Peter Houston pointed out during the week, it's a situation and something that he had to deal with in August when he lost his main man, David Goodwillie, to the English Premier League. It's a situation Scottish clubs out with the big two have been dealing with for a long time. The Rangers seem to manage okay fine without Jelavic last weekend. 4-0. They dispatched Hibernian in the league.
Just straight away we were thinking, would it be a Luko or Celik playing in behind David Taylor? And they've switched it. Celik's coming out to this right-hand side, and it's a Luko just playing in behind David Taylor. So people looking to fill those little pockets in between midfield and defence and get himself on the ball. It's going to create problems for the United defenders.
They've been idle since a 1-1 draw at home to Motherwell a couple of weeks back. They were 3-1 down here before they got it back to 3-3 in that Scottish Cup quarter-final 2 seasons ago, before winning the replay 1-0. David Robertson now at St Johnstone got the winner, a very late winner that night. This is Celik. He's got his Christian name on his back, Mervyn. Now Mackay-Steven. Trying to poke that through to Johnny Russell. Might still drop to John Daly. The goalkeeper's out early. Daly's still on there, but it is a foul on Alan McGregor by John Daly. Well, the ball seemed to be there to be won, and Alan McGregor went in where he knew it was going to hurt.
Yeah, look at it here. Once it's poked through, I mean, I think he's got to go for it. I think it is a free kick. I think McGregor's under control. There's a collision. Russell eventually pops it in, but certainly a let off. But quite entitled to go for it, John Daly.
Nonetheless, it's an early sign of intent from the visitors, isn't it?
It's going to be an open game. I think you see the setup of both teams. We might find Russell just drop off in Daly as well, but both teams playing a sort of similar formation with that balance of, you know, good solid defenders, but certainly both teams got creative players on the park.
John Daly scored here earlier in the season. Had been 2-0 down in that game, got it back to 2-1. Davis. It's Kyle Bartley under real pressure from Mackay-Steven. You can see Dundee United, when they have the ball, when they're moving forward, when they're putting Rangers under pressure, they've got those three there, Daly in the middle, Russell on the right, and Mackay-Steven on the left. They'll shape up differently when they're defending. As Armstrong tries to put pressure on Stephen Davis. Rangers skipper these days, now David Weir is no longer at the club. Peter Houston, when he took over from Craig Levein, he was here for a league match not long after. His team shipped 7 goals, but later on in the campaign came the Scottish Cup victory. But it's Rangers on the ball with Shonny Aluko. This came to Celik. Having Gunning back in the United starting lineup at the expense of Sean Dillon, who is on the bench, not quite 100% fit. So Gunning in beside Gary Kenneth. Paul Dixon, Mr. Dependable for Dundee United.
See by your pitch there, where United playing a narrow midfield. Both Armstrong pushing in and Mackay-Steven pushing in. Johnny Russell just drop off, so make it tight and hard for Rangers to get through them when Rangers have the ball. And then you know how expansive they can be, United, when they get it. Certainly players to hurt Rangers.
Edu. Away from Rankin. Not away from Robertson. Has been fouled. Papach. He slipped that through to Wallace. It was well read by Nielsen. 2 former Hearts players. Through from Daly. Russell, it's a good run forward. John Daly goes for the ambitious effort with McGregor outside his area.
Just needed a bit more on it, John Daly. With a pop, you have to say, because once McGregor's out in that area, out in the left-hand side to clear it, and it clears it probably 40 yards to Russell, to Daly, sorry. And once he takes a touch on it and drops nicely for him. We just need a little bit more on the volley to get McGregor in trouble.
Dixon. For the run of Mackay, Stephen. Davis. He's so consistent, Stephen Davis, in the Rangers midfield. One of the first names in the team sheet since he arrived at the club. Here he is again. Melvin Celik. Okay, Stephen did well, got himself between the player and the ball, and wins possession back for Dundee United. They have started this game as well as Peter Houston could probably have expected them to. Well, he signed a 3.5-year deal, Mervyn Celik. Started his career as a striker. He's more of a winger these days. It's fell that time by Aluko. Sonny Aluko's been good since he signed up at Ibrox, hasn't he?
He has, big onus on him to go and create things in games, and didn't have the particularly best game in the Old Firm. Got the hook in that one, but apart from that, he's been a real star for Rangers in troubled times.
It's United with a free kick though. Dixon went deep for Kenneth. He was able to deal with it though.
Just looking at Rangers, well, we looked at whether Celik would play in behind, and it was Aluko, but also they've changed. The last few games I've played, it's been Wallace playing left midfield and Papac's playing left back, but they've switched that round today as well.
Yeah, I saw Rangers up at McDermott Park earlier in the season against St Johnstone not that long ago, and that's what they did. They had Papac in the more advanced position, so they're both more than capable of playing in the left-hand side of the midfield, equally at left back, which is their main position. Papac has got Wallace away on the left-hand side. He'll be back to Aluko. Didn't really get behind the shot, Sonny Aluko.
I think that's why Papac is playing left midfield, because Wallace has certainly got the legs to come from left back and get beyond him, and maybe Papac should have slipped Wallace in here, but chose to go inside. Little layoff from Healy, worth a shot from Aluko as well, just not on the target.
The exception of the Old Firm game you mentioned, Billy, he has been very, very consistent. He scored a terrific free kick against Hibs last weekend. Bocanegra to Papac. Rangers keen to hold on to him again into next season. Davis. Kenneth got the vital flick onto that to take it back to Pernish.
It's been not bad from Aluko so far in the game, because when Healy goes short, and he likes to go short and receive the ball, Aluko has to be the furthest man up the pitch, and he has done on a couple of occasions, nearly got himself in there because of his pace as well, but when Healy shows short and wants the ball to feet, Aluko must be long.
Up goes Russell. He's no mean feet, beating Goyan to it in the air. It slipped out here to Daly, blocked by Bartley. That was all about the flick from Russell. He beat Goyan in the air. Now Kenneth. Well, Johnny Russell's taken on the mantle that was, I suppose, vacated by David Goodwillie for Dundee United.
There's Mackay Stephen. I think roles being reversed there. If that's Daly slipping Mackay Stephen through onto his natural left side, he probably gets a strike away, but big striker there, not the quickest. Right-footed as well, just found himself in an awkward position, but certainly roles reversed would have been perfect for United on that occasion.
If there's been an Achilles heel for Dundee United this season, it's been defensively, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Lost a few goals. Not got a settled back four. Dylan's been playing in there along with Kenny. Sometimes Gunny comes in today. They have to get a back four and go with it for a little while. Picked up a few injuries as well, but certainly lost a lot of goals, and Rangers will be looking to exploit that.
They've conceded more than anyone else away from home in the league. Daly to Russell. They know how to find the net the other end, and they're 3-on-2 here, Dundee United. It's Johnny Russell. Well, right through to McGregor. He had options.
Well, I've got to say Rangers look ragged, because when they receive that in the area and Daly just helps it on, Wallace is probably 10 yards too far up the park, and that means that Russell can run the right channel. When he gets here, you think with his pace, should get a shot away and trouble McGregor more, but you have to pay compliments to Goy, and got back and got himself a block.
Very uneasy start from Rangers. Dundee United with Gary Mackay-Steven. Russell ran over the ball. Daly wasn't getting to him. And now it's Rangers with Wallace to Edu. So free kick as well. Quickly taken. Aluko. Mervan Celik. Aluko. Just in that pocket of space. Healy tried to work it back to him. Bartley. Clipped ball, looking for Papac. Difficult one for Papac, just a little bit too high for him. Healy. Stephen Davis. Healy. Aluko. Patient from Rangers, this.
Yeah, patient. They have to be. Look at how tight that United are playing. Whether it's a back four, no gaps in between them either, or the midfield, and certainly one of the strikers dropping off. Half of Rangers to get through.
Trying to find the key to unlock the door, Rangers, but United clear their lines, and away up the other end is Russell, and again it's 2-on-2 here. If Russell can get away, Bocanegra, he couldn't, but he does have the corner.
Certainly look edgy, because that's exactly what United want, and that's why they're playing Russell right up through the middle. He sometimes slips back into midfield against Old Firm, but they sit tight and organised, as we said, Liam, and then when they win it, they just put it in that channel. Russell gets himself into this situation, but Bocanegra does well. Has to give away the corner, though.
They have a corner right in front of the 1,100 United fans, and it comes, it's missed just about everyone. Gary Kenneth claims he was being fouled in the box. He's making that point to Willie Collum.
Well, we saw a penalty last week given away, and Kenneth's raging. He's screaming at him. We'll have a look here. Goyan on him, pulling him. Well, it's not a penalty. It's not as bad as Darren Dodd's one last week on Rogner, but you know, if you take the chance when you start lifting your arms and getting them round people, especially if you're a defender in the box, and take the chance of getting a penalty against you there, Goyan.
Yeah, we saw that with Darren Dodds of Falkirk on Thomas Rogner of Celtic last weekend at Hampden. Penalty was given. Gavin Gunning. The long ball from deep inside their own half, even from the midfield, is the one so far that's caused Rangers the problems. We're almost 15 minutes in. That's where Dundee United look to be getting their joy, particularly with Johnny Russell on the right-hand side.
Well, that's what I look for, because that man Wallace is going to try and get forward all day long.
Dixon's got a good left foot, and McGregor felt the need to save. I'm not sure if that was on target. McGregor took no chances. Corner United.
McGregor doesn't know that, and you see it in this angle. I'm sure we'll see it moving, swerving, so he has to deal with it with his left hand. Gets the fingertips on it.
We'll see from this angle how close to being on target it was. There it was swerving away. The resultant corner comes in. It's too high for Gary Kenneth. Rankin. Good ball from Rankin. McGregor clawed that one away. And here come United against Mackay-Steven in, and it's a goal for Dundee United! And you have to say that they deserve that one. Gavin Gunning sends the United fans into raptures. They lead at Ibrox.
Rangers just don't look comfortable. We were talking about it just before the shot from Paul Dixon, how United with Russell are getting in behind, but 2 crosses, the first corner coming in and then it's missed, and then great ball across. McGregor doesn't really know how to deal with it, but Rangers never organised. Look, they never get themselves sorted and on, especially the big man gunning up there, and it's a bullet header. It's a great ball in, the pace is on the ball, just meet it, and it absolutely flies in and leaves McGregor with no chance. And it's been coming, you have to say, Liam.
Gavin Cunning, who has a runners-up medal from last season. He was in the Motherwell team that lost the final to Celtic, and he has put Dundee United in the box seat here at Ibrox, despite the despairing dive of Alan McGregor. And now Rangers have to respond, and they're having to respond to plenty these days, on and off the park. Mervan Celik. Rangers rocked. Davis. Some immediate retaliation, Rangers. Kyle Bartley. It's always so important for clubs visiting Rangers or Celtic, if they do get themselves in front, do score, that they do not concede early on, having done that. So Aberdeen lead here in the league a couple of weeks ago and concede within 5 minutes. United will be keen for that not to happen here. Morris Edu. Wallace, getting beaten easily by Gunning. Bartley. It's Celik. Challenge from Dixon.
Well, United have Rangers exactly where they want them. They want 1-0 up. Crowd starting to turn a little bit in Rangers. We know the financial implications at the club already. Just things building up for Rangers and certainly applying the pressure at United. And just looking at it, 6 big men in the team, Rangers, and not really organised the set pieces. You wouldn't say that about a year ago, and maybe Pat and Derek and Stephen and they should have a look at it at half-time, but certainly not organised from that corner.
Papach by Dixon. Daly will try and take this into his stride. Davis was there though, pickpockets him. Davis again. That's for Shawnee Aluko. Good skill from Aluko, and still good save from Pernis. Well, again, Shawnee Aluko opening his box of tricks. He seems to do that on a weekly basis in a Rangers shirt. Dusan Pernis forced into his first save of the match, really. He played 18. Aluko once more. It's worked out okay for him. Davis. And there's the frustration from the Rangers supporters who are here today.
It's good play, it's good response from Rangers, good run from Aluko already. See that little tease, a little flick up there. A good stinging drive from him as well, just needs a little bit more angle on it and maybe got it by Pernis, but a good strong block from Pernis as well.
Aluko. Play from Mervan Celik. Okay, Stephen trying to get back at it, and he did. Bartley not in a hurry to take this. He's being urged on by the supporters. It's Aluko now for Edu. Bocanegra. The captain of the US national side. Bartley. Well, Rangers aren't getting any room to breathe in the park. They're just being closed down so quickly by Dundee United. But that's Morris Edu getting a bit of space. Wallace. Too high for Healy. Way too high for him. There's Johnny Russell. Still got it. So they play now.
That's who wants the ball for Rangers now, because there's no doubt if United getting that goal, 10 men behind the ball, 2 strikers, and you're talking 15 yards inside their own half. That's where the start of the defensive line is, and it's up to Rangers to get on the ball, find those little pockets I was talking about, create an opportunity, a space for their teammates. But certainly frustrating, just because United, you can see in this picture here how many men are getting behind the ball from midfield to defenders.
Kyle Bartley, who's heavy with his first touch. It's allowed United back in. Mackay-Steven. That'll be a free kick. A yellow card as well for Sonny Aluko. It's deemed to be a little bit cynical by Willie Collum.
I think it's a decent yellow card for the team. It's one of those ones, because we're talking about United defending, but we know they've got the players to spring and attack. And Gary Mackay-Steven, Johnny Russell, and John Daly's already there as well. So certainly sitting in, but certainly countering as well.
Rangers have only won 1 of their cup ties this season. That's 1 out of 6. It was at Arbroath in the last round. Gavin Gunning with the United free kick for Kenneth. Away by Bocanegra. Back at them here, Rangers. This is Russell. Nervy times for the hosts. Dixon. Took a touch. Well done. A little bit of anguish on the face of Ali McCoist just now. He's had to deal with so much, hasn't he, Billy?
Yeah, he has, and I mean, the way the things are standing, as I said, that pressure is building all the time, whether it's off the park and then he gets his team, and you try to keep it away from your team. There's no doubt Ali McCoist has, but then when you lose your star striker and then you find yourself not getting the right results, there's been a big points total turned around by Celtic, and then you, even in cup games, you find yourself a goal down, and Craig White there has to help Ali McCoist a little bit more. It's not happened yet, and you know, as a coach and Derek in there in the studio as a manager, you know, if you're not getting help from your board, it can be so tough.
Play by Armstrong. A good dribbling run, no free kick. Stuart Armstrong has come into the team primarily this season. Did make his debut in November 2010, but he's been pretty much a mainstay in the United matchday squad, if not the starting lineup this campaign. He's 19. A slice from Dusan Pernis. It's already in United folklore. Peter Houston, thanks to that Scottish Cup victory a couple of seasons back. Lee Wallace slid in there, not sure if he slipped. Rankin. Boyan for Rangers, now Aluko. Puts it through to David Healy. Promising for the hosts. Healy! Good save from Pernis. He saw that late.
Ball steps from Aluko again. He's the man they've got to get on the ball, because he seems to create something every time he does. That little hole again between defence and midfield. Davis makes a run, sort of pulls a couple away, but Healy just moves it to his left-hand side, but still hits it with his right foot. The angle's perfect. We're right behind it, and it's a great save from Pernis, low to his right.
Davis with the delivery. Flicked away by Russell. Still in the danger area though, had to be dealt with by Dixon. Aluko. And Dixon just deflected into his own box, almost felt like Healy. This is Sonny Aluko. Edu. Rangers starting to get to grips with the match at last, almost 25 minutes in. And now it's Daly. Russell was coming back from an offside position.
Thought I kept a hold of that, Daly. Use a little bit of his experience there.
I mentioned Rangers' cup record this season. They lost the first time of asking to Falkirk in the League Cup. They were, of course, the holders. And then in Europe, didn't fare any better going out of the Champions League qualifiers to the Swedish side Malmo, and then in the Europa League qualifiers to the Slovenians Maribor. Hasn't really happened for them in the knockout competitions. That has been a problem for them. Ali McCoy, you saw there, he's down in the technical area. Like his predecessor Walter Smith, tends to watch the first half of the matches up in the director's box, but he's been forced down to the technical area trying to gee his team on. For Daly. There's a foul by Doran Goyan, says the referee. They call him to charge of the Old Firm game just before New Year. Wasn't happy with the Goyan challenge on Daly. Dixon's free kick. Free kick to Rangers inside their own penalty as the ball came in. Daly this time was the offender.
United won't mind this period, getting a little bit scrappy. Last thing they want now is having to defend right to the end of the game with Rangers pressure. So any time the game gets slowed down and free kick and a set piece just take all day long. So good period for United. No Rangers dominance since the goal.
Wallace taking a while to get the throw in onto the park. He has now. It's back with Davis. Goyan. Use the legs of Healy. Finds Edu. Perhaps would have liked a little bit less in the pass, but he's done well to get the cross in. And he wrapped the left foot round that. The goalkeeper holds on.
You know, it's the right areas, it's the right passes, but they're all players. It was Healy, if that was Jelic, could maybe have taken a touch because he's height, he's got to knock it back. It's Edu, it's not a creative midfielder, puts it too wide. It's Papac, who's not a wide man, naturally, who's put the cross in straight to the goalkeeper. Just shows you how hard it is for Rangers now, and the personnel Ali McCoy's got to put out the pitch.
Goyan shepherds that out. Goyan generally has been one of the better summer signings for Rangers. He was brought in back in August. He'd been at Palermo. He and Bocanegra have formed the new central defensive partnership to replace Bruguera and Weir. Scorer. Just half an hour in. Goyan again out-jumped. That was Daly that time. Russell putting the pressure on Bocanegra. They're harrying, they're harassing Rangers every time they're on the ball. Or Dundee United. It's Gary Kenneth looking for the big switch out to this near side for Dixon, and he's found him. Pressure though from Celik. Cheaply gives it away again though. Mackay-Steven. Rankin. Armstrong. Again Russell slightly offside there. Now it's Lee Wallace. Davis. He's going for the big switch. Bartley. Stephen straight at him. On loan from Arsenal, Kyle Bartley, Mackay Stephen there.
I think that's the way forward for Rangers, quick switches, because United are playing this narrow midfield and either your full-back or your wide man can get certainly space for them down the channels, both channels.
Healy wins the corner off Paul Dixon. Well, up front, Rangers don't really have presence as far as height's concerned. Jelavic gave them that. Healy doesn't have the same height on him. As the corner comes in, they have to bring reinforcements in the back. That was Goyan. Daly gets rid of it.
That was a chance. Goyan gets, don't know if he gets in between around the back at Kenneth and Dixon, but they both missed it. Just didn't fall for him though.
Guy Stephen. He was expecting John Daly to run onto that one. Papach. It's for Aluko. Russell's there. Blocks it off. Gets it back from Armstrong. Johnny Russell. Aluko scrappy from both teams. Sloppy possession. Chalik. Easily away by Gavin Gunning. Didn't get past the first defender. The United goals had to make a couple of saves. First from Aluko, then from Healy. With the cards coming out again, John Daly will have to answer to it. Yellow card for the United skipper, the challenging Kyle Bartley.
I think we've seen so far in the match how, especially big strikers or big defenders, go for the ball. They lead with the arm, and that one's the hand in the face. Correct yellow card. Look back at the corner here, Aluko gets in, and then Dixon, Kenneth, both miss it. Goyan gets a little flick, just doesn't fall for a Rangers player. There's a little let off for United.
Wallace. Bocanegra. To Armstrong. Nielsen, Dundee United trying to play themselves out of trouble. Well, the Rangers fans in the Govan stand thought that was their ball.
Yeah, I'm just looking back to this. I mean, this is the problems that Rangers are facing now. We see the Healy knockoff. Maybe if that was Jelavic, he takes it on. If it's Davis, it maybe falls to. I know he's on the pitch, but Edu knocks it a little bit wide, and then you find like a guy who started as centre half in Papach, and I feel sorry for him, having to play that left wing role, having to deliver a cross from practically on the corner flag, and that's where we're at just now in Scottish football, and especially Rangers in terms of personnel filling the places at the wrong times. And if you get into situations like that, you might just struggle to break down this United defence.
Dixon. Scott Robertson. See Scott Robertson getting an extended run in the Dundee United team, just so injury prone the past few seasons. You can see him shrugging that off. There's been bad injuries as well. Kept him out for lengthy periods. This is Paul Dixon and Johnny Russell. Loads of space, 2-0. Oh, that'll send a cat amongst the pigeons. Dundee United double up, and Ibrox they lead 2-0.
It's too easy, isn't it? Just really cutting them open. We talked about the creative players and a couple of slick passes. Dixon out to Mackay Stephen, back to Dixon, good run. Jelly drops him. Nobody picked up Russell, and you leave him that space from that distance with that left foot of his, and he absolutely rockets it high into the net. United go 2 up.
Johnny Russell's 11th goal of the season, thumping it past Alan McGregor, and United are in dreamland. Scottish Cup dreamland. He and his team have been there before.
absolutely delighted, and rightly so. Just players, again, are just talking about it with Rangers' offensive move, but Bartley, natural centre-half, getting dragged out here, not comfortable, and then just slip passing, creates opportunity, and Russell takes it with aplomb.
There's Russell again. Given away though, Papas. Good intervention from Scott Robertson. Slid in. Just as Rangers thought they might be in.
And the goal again, I'm talking about Bartley out that right-hand side, dragged out there as a centre-half, then Goyan gets himself in a dodgy position as well because Russell gets off, and Bocanegra has to come off of Daly and try to cover across. He can't get there in time, and Russell certainly finishes it well, no doubt about that. And as much as it's great movement from United, it's poor defending from Rangers.
Mervyn Chalik. And that pretty much sums it up for the home team.
Yeah, they're going to have to take these chances when they come along, get themselves back into the game, but they work it well enough, Rangers. Not created a lot in the game, but it's a hard chance for Chalik. But I don't think, I know he's new, I don't think he's been paused enough so far in the match. He's got a chance to run 1-on-1 at Dixon, he hasn't taken it. Big problems ahead, and then you see two of the top players there, Stephen Whittaker, Stephen Naismith. Rangers having their problems to seek by Jelic leaving, and then those two been out injured.
Yeah, Naismith in particular made such a huge impression in the first quarter of the season. So along with Jelic leaving, Jelic, remember, had scored 17 this season. Stephen Naismith had scored 9 in just 15 appearances. Out comes the card again, and it will be Johnny Russell who'll be booked this time. Joins John Daly, his skipper in the book.
Let's have a look at the goal again. It's a booking we'll look at. I thought that was a goal building up there, but offside, clearly offside there. Plays it and picks himself a yellow card, Johnny Russell. And a big impact in the game so far, though.
This is a Dundee United team that have won just 2 of the last 9 matches in the league. They've slipped out of the top 6. Almost 38 in here in Glasgow. Rangers 0, Dundee United 2. As United, they came from a 2-goal deficit a couple of seasons back to force a replay at Tannadice. Right now you feel Rangers would take a replay if they were offered that at this stage.
Just a bit, Liam.
Daly. Guy Stephen Clooney, was fouled. Nothing doing, says Willie Collum. Wallace. That is for Healy. It's easy for the United defence right now. Kenneth, this time dealing with it.
Just to build up the goal, we'll take him again. I didn't think I'd be saying this, especially over the last 3 seasons for Rangers. Chelic drops Dixon.
Oh, we'll go back to that in a second. It's Dundee United on the attack again with Mackay Stephen. Come to Dixon. Flicked clear. Again, every time Dundee United come forward, they look dangerous. They look more dangerous than Rangers. Davis for the hosts, given straight though to Dixon. Gunning puts the laces through it. You're cut off in your prime there, Billy.
We'll get to that goal at some point, but I mean, 3 seasons Rangers have won the SPL Championship, and for me it's been having a solid backbone in their team, and that second goal there for United really summed up their problems so far, because they are ragged. You described it as that, Liam, but they're getting pulled all over the place.
Aluko. Well, it looked as though there was a push there on Shawnee Aluko. The ref wasn't interested. It's Chelic. Away by Scott Robertson. Mackay Stephen steps away from Goyan. Ahead of him is Stuart Armstrong, who's going after that. Russell was there too. And straight through to McGregor. Will Peter Houston be thinking, right now, we can get a third goal here, we can kill this tie.
Yeah, but he'll be happy to be 2-0 up. Of course you think that as a manager, it'd be great to get a third, but Peter's been perfect so far, we'd have to say, pardon the pun, but just in terms of tactics, the way they've gone about the game and settled defensively, setting up 10 men behind the ball and certainly springing into a counter-attack, caused Rangers all sorts of problems.
Dixon. United got rid of Airdrie United in the last round to reach the 5th round stage. Rangers, of course, winning at Arbroath. Lee Wallace towards Davis. Again, there's no real hype for Rangers in the final third. Edu. Davis. In for Bartley. Ernest clutches on underneath his crossbar.
It's a decent little run from him. Out to him, and you see it, and you know Davis can pick him out, just needed a bit more on the header to get it beyond Pernice. I'm looking at the way what Rangers do. They might wait to half-time and if they see if they get a goal. I think width is the key to Rangers. I know Chelik's been playing here. I don't think he's been positive enough in the game so far. I know it's his first game, maybe just happening a little bit quick for him because he's had opportunities to be positive, he's not taking them. Not really sure what to do defensively either. Get Papach out that left-hand side. I'm thinking about Ali McCoy still be thinking at some point he's got to get a natural wide man in there and maybe even bring on Greg Wild to play on that side, just to get down the sides and in behind this United rearguard.
Outfield players for Rangers on the bench: McCullough, Wild, Kerkar and Little. That's Gavin Gunning. Kenneth chasing it back to Pernice, who wondering where the boots are going to be. I think he's taking a swallow and he's holding on to the left-hand side of his chest as Dundee United clear their lines. First real nervy moment for the United defence at the back. Kenneth didn't know whether he needed to take a touch onto it or not. He decided to help it back to the goalkeeper. Push there on Dixon.
They don't want to be handing it to Rangers, just get themselves a little mix up there. Kenneth and Pernice leaving it to one another, nearly taking advantage. Sort out eventually though.
Gunning with the free kick for Dundee United, up towards Daly. Justin Goyan does win it in the air. Away by Bartley. Well, Robbie Nielsen fouling David Healy.
They wanted an advantage, Rangers there.
Aluko. Like the quick free kick, Rangers. It's Aluko into Edu. Tried to shuffle it onto his other foot there, and Scott Robertson read it well. Edu. That match. Wallace leading support. It's back with Edu instead. Davis. Aluko. And they would love something back before the interval, Rangers. Here's Kyle Bartley. Johnny Russell's out to meet him. He's got the corner. But here there won't be any stoppage time. So this probably the last chance for Rangers to get something back into the game before half-time.
Again, it's that width and the wrong type of player in that position though.
Well, Aluko will deliver. Goalkeeper thought about it. Eventually it's cleared. Then Russell up to Mackay-Stephen. It looks as though Dundee United will take this to half-time at 2-0. Indeed, there is the half-time whistle. You can hear what the Rangers fans make of that. And that is because that man, Gavin Gunning, headed Dundee United in front, and that man, Johnny Russell, doubled the lead. Alan McGregor clawing the first cross in, away, and then in from Mackay-Stephen, Gunning bulleting the header into the back of the net, despite the best intentions of McGregor. And then it got a whole lot worse for Rangers. Paul Dixon playing it through to Johnny Russell. No one near him, and he thumped the ball into the back of the net to send the Dundee United fans wild on that far side. And that means at half-time at Ibrox, it's Rangers 0, Dundee United 2.
That defence, because that's a good-looking defence they've got there, who are growing in confidence.
You've got one team enjoying the game at the minute and another team who are really struggling to deal with it. And it's important that United, for their sake, if they go and get the game won, they've got to make sure, recognise what was good for them in the first half and keep that level of performance and level of energy.
You've seen the two goal scorers, Gavin Gunning and Johnny Russell. It's backs to the wall for Rangers, facing a Scottish Cup exit. 2 goals down, halfway through, back to Ibrox, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Thanks, Rob. And as you can see, a change for Rangers at half-time. Salim Kerkar, who scored in the last round against Arbroath, has replaced Mervan Celik, the new signing, who lasts just 45 minutes into his first start. So Kerkar on. The last domestic team to beat Rangers here was Dundee United. That was at the tail end of last season in the SPL. A 3-2 victory. It came courtesy of a very late David Goodwillie goal. Last time Rangers beat Dundee United in the Scottish Cup was a quarter-final in March 1989. That was after a replay. It was a 2-2 draw here. Ali McCoist, the current Rangers manager, scored in both those games, including the only one in the Tannadice replay. They would happily take 2-2 in a Tannadice replay right now. Dundee United chairman Stephen Thompson, the middle of your screen there, he'll be absolutely delighted with what he's seen. Of course, he managed to keep Johnny Russell as well, who got United's second goal. Billy Dodds played for both these teams. Billy, Salim Kerkar on. Have you noticed an early change of shape?
Yeah, I have, Liam. Aluko's now going wide right. And Kerkar will just play it behind David Taylor now, try to create. He's done that in a couple of games. I've watched him coming on as a sub, and he did that at Broth, got himself a goal. Honestly, I think he'll leave it maybe quarter an hour. Alan McCoist, I can see Greg Wild coming on as well, and maybe I think Papac either go back left back or Wallace can offer Papac going off, one of the two anyway, and bring on a natural white man.
Bernie's had to look lively there. Davis back to Goyan. Bartley. Edu. Bartley. Easily blocked. Edu keeps it alive. Lee Wallace. Luca will try and keep that in. Favourite though is Gary Mackay-Stephen. I'm sure, Billy, that Peter Houston would have emphasised to his team the importance of the first 10-15 minutes of the second half. Yeah,
just do what you were doing. You know we're going to create and counter-attack them, but make sure we don't give anything away.
Kerkar through for Healy. Kenneth gets there, there's a corner.
It's a nice little run by Healy. It's well found as well, but Kenneth matching him across and seeing it out for the corner. But Kerkar, lovely little slip, that's why he's in there. Healy, good run. Kenneth maybe could have left that one, but took no chances.
Rangers beginning the second half as they mean to go on. Shawnee Aluko will take this corner right in front of the Dundee United fans who are loving this right now. Stephen Healy being given a warning with Dusan Pernish there by the referee. They're both on the goal line as Aluko takes the corner kick. Flicked clear. There's Johnny Russell. Completes that clearance. That's a free kick to Dundee United. The challenge from Davis.
You know what, it's great pace from Mackay-Stephen. because he's not a favourite there, but he just gets here first. And Davis trying to cover round, brings him down. Not a bad free kick to give away. Could have picked up a booking, but referee lets him off with it. But brilliant from Mackay-Steven. That's that counter-attack we're talking about.
Yeah, he knew the challenge was coming. That's Kenneth. Away by Bocanegra. Kenneth. Still allowing that to go out of play just so United can retain possession. Nielsen can certainly bomb them in from here. By Bocanegra, it's going to come back to Nielsen. He's got Armstrong at the angle. This is Stuart Armstrong. Oh, it's a good ball in, just a little bit too much on it for Gary Mackay-Steven at the back end of the box.
That's a wonderful delivery, just a little bit too much pace. If it maybe just been clipped in there, Mackay-Steven might have got on the end of it, but good play from the youngster Armstrong.
He's having a good season. Stuart Armstrong, Scotland under-21 international, as Gunning closes down Healy. Gunning, who opened the scoring.
Just wonder if Rangers do get themselves back in it by getting a goal and maybe get to the last 10 minutes or so. Just even a daft one, throw McCulloch on or something up front, former striker. Just a bit of physical presence up there at some point, but because Dundee United defence have not been asked any questions in there. Just wonder him being a former striker, just might think about it last 10 minutes if Rangers can get this next goal.
Looked as though he was thinking about it himself there. Edu. Bocanegra. Babach. The play. Away from Robertson. Edu. Drops kindly to Shoni Aluko. And still, he's got the corner.
Yeah, Rankin does well. They get bodies behind it again. 8 or so bodies there. Luko trying to work it. See Rankin not giving anything. When he shifts it, he puts his left foot in there. Good defender from Rankin.
Rangers just starting to knock on the Dundee United door. In from Davis. And Rankin will take this away. He'll try to take it by a lot, but he was fouled by Morris Edu. That'll take the pressure right off.
Yeah, it could be, Rangers could be doing. It was a great defender from United again in that zonal system. Robbie Nielsen getting the head onto the old napper, but I notice United haven't got anybody on that back post. Rangers might just have to meet one, get a head on it, and you never know, it just might fly into that far post area.
I mentioned Dundee United were the last team to win here, hosting team to win here in the league. Around about May last year. It's actually just one domestic defeat in 24 matches at Ibrox, going back more than a year since they lost the Old Firm game the new year before the one that's just passed. That's a scale of what Dundee United are doing right now. Nielsen in towards Daly. Partly bailed out, he's got the free kick. They can mix it up, Dundee United up front. They've got John Daly with the physical presence. They've got Johnny Russell and Gary Mackay-Steven, who are tricky as that goes through the care car up the other end.
Exactly what Rangers haven't got. That's why I said that about Lee McCulloch. Just I feel as if Rangers just hit the ball against a brick wall and get nothing out of it. But certainly, you know what Dundee United can do. Sorry, when get it up to Daly, and Russell and Mackay-Steven can both get off him.
Johnny Russell was offside. Aluko. Oh, Shoni Aluko. The free kick's gone here to Dundee United now. Shoni Aluko is holding on to his right leg. He's saying he's okay.
he giving a handball there? What they call because he didn't think it was a free kick. I think Sonny Luco.
It's a strange one.
I think he puts his hand on the ball. There you go.
Yeah.
He's given that. I can't believe that because he's certainly been caught. It's a free kick. Just give that. But what they call him certainly got that one wrong.
Well, whether he got that wrong or right, Rangers will be hoping Sonny Luco's okay because he's moving very gingerly. It's Dundee United. We thought they were about to attack Alan McGregor's goal there, but it's gone to Rangers, and eventually when he gets back on the way, it is Rangers' possession, but Sonny Luco's struggling. This is why.
Certainly. He's flicked him, he's caught him. I don't know. It's certainly a free kick, but then it's just nothing going for Rangers because he puts his hand on the ball, gets a free kick awarded against him.
Well, Goyan's put that back to McGregor. John Daly was sniffing around. The seconds tick on, and Dundee United still with a 2-0 lead in Glasgow. Bocanegra. Healy. Luco moving more freely now. A hard challenge on David Healy on the far side, which the referee was happy with. Bocanegra's to be careful. Russell. Maybe gets it back for Rangers and finds Davis, who finds Aluko. He is okay, Sonny Aluko. As for Healy, Pernish lets it roll out.
See, everything's got to be threaded through like that. That's the problem they've got. That's why I'm just thinking anything just to mix it up. So they've got that balance you were talking about, Liam, with John Daly up front, so you can hit it long and play off it, or you can still thread it through. But with only Healy up there and Kerka dropping in that hole, Rangers are finding it difficult, especially with United putting so many men back. They're finding it difficult to pick out passes.
It's been difficult for Rangers, hasn't it? They've lost a key man in each of the last 3 transfer windows, really. When you go back to Kenny Miller a year ago, Bugera in the summer, and now, obviously, Jelavic.
Yeah, but it's easily answered. When Miller left, they had Jelavic coming back from injury to fill the void, and they've got nobody coming back now.
The card's coming out here for Gary Mackay, Stephen, I think. Yep.
Man, caught Bartley late.
So it's 3 Dundee United players who've been booked this afternoon now. Mackay, Stephen joining Daly and Russell in Willie Collins' book. Sonny Aluko was booked for Rangers in the first half.
Oh, sore one. A few studs down the back of the Achilles. And a little bit of afters as well. I think he's picking the wrong man there when you look at the height advantage.
I was just thinking that. Cunning's header for Robertson. Going on to Davis. Now Bocanegra. Clicking towards the hour mark. Rangers' Scottish Cup hopes hanging by a thread. Robertson. Salim Kerkar, he's got the free kick. So free kick chance for Rangers here. Stephen Davis is over this one. Angling it into the penalty area. Too much for Bartley.
watching Batley just giving Dixon a little shove as well. There's a few situations going on out there, but that's because Rangers are frustrated. It's a decent ball, just can't reach it. Get Rangers back in the game. They need something to happen. It's been perfect so far for Dundee United, second half, 13 minutes in. No real chance for Rangers, no list for the crowd, and it's exactly what Peter Houston would have wanted.
Rangers are about, we're here to bring on Andrew Little. There's a try and shake things up a bit. They already made that change at half-time. Here comes David Healy, who we hear will be coming off. And it comes, the clearance from Gunning, under pressure from Kerkar. Corner kick.
Yeah, decent from Healy, gets himself into the left channel. Not where he wants to be, but just plays into an area. But good covering from Gunning as well.
Davis with the corner for Rangers. Swept into the back end of the box. Comes back to Edu. That could have gone anywhere. Off Johnny Russell. Another corner kick.
Yeah, United win the header again. Morris Edu just helps it back in. Russell, striker, trying to defend. That's what happens.
Second bite of the cherry for Stephen Davis. Similar corner. United defending their 6-yard box so well. That's good play by Mackay Stephen. He's won a free kick. It's a couple of times this afternoon he's done that. He's managed to get onto the ball. Between the player and the ball, he's gone down, he's won a free kick, and that's taken the pressure off his defence. It's confirmation of that change below us. David Healy off, Andrew Little on.
Yeah, he'll just
22-year-old Northern Irishman.
Sorry, he'll just go right up front, and he's got a bit of pace, so he'll be able to run the channels, and Kerr play off him. Yeah, Peter Houston pointing out to the referee that what's the difference between that challenge on Mackay Stephen and the one that Mackay Stephen was booked for in Batley. Been caught late, but just shows you the pace Mackay Stephen's got again. Any time the ball gets cleared, it's danger, spells danger for Rangers.
About those bookings, I've been reliably informed that £600 a booking clubs will lose in this round of the Cup. Dundee United have had 3 players yellow carded as Davis pings the ball out to the far side for Aluko. Still with Aluko. Davis, Wallace. A little bit more height up front in Little compared to Healy. Wallace trying to get on to Andrew Little. Well, you get highlights of today's match, and of course the one later on, Hearts against St Johnstone, as the 5th round of the Scottish Cup, the first go at it anyway, is completed today at 10 p.m. tonight, BBC 2 for Sportsy. Of course, Hearts St Johnstone on Sportsound and BBC Radio Scotland later on this afternoon, 3 o'clock start in the capital. I mentioned the United have conceded more goals than anyone else away from home in the SPL this season, but only Celtic have scored more away from home in the SPL. Both United and Rangers on 21. So far, it's the scoring goals away from home that we have seen demonstrated today by the visitors. That's Dixon, 120, the ball, he's taken right out there by Kyle Bartley, who came thumping into Paul Dixon. It was a shuddering looking challenge.
Well, Dixon does ever so well because he wins the ball against Aluko, but you know what, it's an opportunity for Bartley to clean him right out because he's on the ground, the ball's still there. Bartley no doubt wins the ball. You'll see here there's an opportunity to take ball then, man, he does exactly that.
Good first challenge by Dixon, knew it was coming. No holds barred from Bartley. Willie Collins been busy today. He's not happy either.
Referees never are.
Armstrong. Russell. Sliding in was Goyan. That was John Rankin. We barely mentioned John Rankin today.
Yeah, maybe not stood out, but certainly done a really good defensive job. You saw one of the blocks from about 20 yards from Aluko. Sometimes you don't get noticed when you're working hard in that central midfield area.
And we're beyond the hour mark now, Billy.
As I said, it's exactly what United want. Peter Hoose would have been saying at half-time, look, you know they're going to come at you, they know they're going to put pressure on you. Well, it's not happened, and Rangers have been so poor.
We will be very happy right now.
Yeah, he can even take a seat. Usually he's patrolling that technical area down there.
Still plenty time left in this cup tie, but it's United on the ball just now. Johnny Russell went down. United will play on. Mackay Stephen, but he ran into Bartley. Now Davis has it for Rangers. Papach in space. Edu. Back from Kerkar. Papach. Swinging that one in. Pernis punches. Awkward bounce for Robertson. Oh, he got there. That's good play from Scott Robertson. And from Mackay Stephen, who's side to the deck there by Doran Goyan, and the Romanian will be booked.
It was all or nothing. We've seen it a few times already. United defend well, win it, and that falls to him. That man, Mackay Stephen, and he's got so much pace. He's always getting to the ball first. It's all or nothing for Goyan. And it's nothing because he doesn't take the ball. Mackay Stephen gets there first. I think he sees it coming, rides it a little bit, but Goyan picks up the booking.
Danny Mackay Stevens had a terrific game, as most in Tangerine have had. A real opportunity of a break there for Dundee United. They're coming at Rangers with pace. Danny Mackay Stephen, 2 years at Liverpool, having started at Ross County. He was at Airdrie last season. It's in towards Daly. Pocket Arrogance on to Gary Kenneth, can finish it. He didn't. McGregor holds on, and that could be a huge moment in this cup tie. Who knows?
That was an opportunity to kill it. Absolutely no doubt about it. You were talking about John Daly putting pressure on that Rangers defence. Just knocks up there, and Gary Kenneth got a great angle from here, Liam. He just gets a little bit more purchase, goes for that far corner. Just didn't meet it well enough to get it over McGregor, but what a chance.
United and Gary Kenneth will hope that they are not left forgetting that as Bartley goes sliding in again. And here was the chance for Gary Kenneth.
That's what they can do. Bocanegra wins it and pops up there, but if you see if you can get a little bit more loop on it and get into that far corner, it's 3-0 United and game over. I've been disappointed with Rangers, and I've been talking about their personnel. They've not got a lot to work with, but I must say I don't think they've used the wide areas well enough. Now they're looking at it with putting a look out there, but this left-hand side, I think it's calling out to just get a switchy play, get people in behind, because they're not going to get through this United rearguard with 9-10 men behind the ball. Get it wide, get it in behind them, but there's no natural wide men to put delivery in or just take it comfortably.
Well, they put the pressure on again, the visitors. In from Dixon, that's Daly. And once more.
Every time he can get himself onto Bocanegra, it spells trouble because he's got a height advantage on him. You can see him, he just keeps it down, he scores. Great delivery again from Dixon. Boys were talking about him, they should at half-time, and quite rightly so. Been different class with the hand, both the goals as well, and just been really good, comfortable going forward. Gets himself forward again, great cross. And if Daly hits the target, he probably scores.
Since Rangers won at a packed Tannadice in 1989 in the Cup, they've not managed to get the better of Dundee United in this competition. It's the victory in the final, thanks to Craig Brewster's goal in 1994, 1-0. Then there was another 1-0 win at Tannadice. David Hanna with the only goal in a quarter-final in 2001. Then came the beatings a couple of years ago as Aluko goes some distance and puts it well over the crossbar. We're into the final quarter.
Yeah, Rangers outside the box. United will take that all day long. They're looking at possession, not too much in it. Rangers certainly would have wanted that. United would have expected a lot more Rangers possession, but something like 63% or something, 57%. Just, it's not the way it should have. Well, we thought it was going to be second half. We thought it would have been certainly more Rangers' dominance, but in the 50s and 60s%, it's not good enough for Rangers to get back in the game.
Well, again, the Dundee United fans having a party over on the far side. They don't look duly troubled at the moment at the back. Johnny Russell got the second goal. And so far, Dusan Pernis has only managed 5 clean sheets this season up to now. He's kept goal well. He made a couple of really important saves in the first half. Hasn't really been called into action in the second. Here, Greg Wild will be on shortly for Rangers as the clock ticks down. Just over 21 to go. The last throw of the dice for Ali McCoist and Kenny McDowell there. Well, off comes Papac. You did suspect at some point that would be the case.
They had to get something out of this left-hand side. Not Papac's fault, centre-half, left-back, playing left midfield. And when you're 2-0 down, you need somebody to create. And Papac has not been able to produce that. But positive change from Ali McCoist. Gets the young lad Greg Wild on. And then you've still got Wallace. They'll be thinking, hopefully overlapping them and getting them into good areas to put in good deliveries that Rangers can get this all-important third goal. But
it just shows you the problems that Ali McCoist has with his squad just now. The fact that Salim Kerkar, who hasn't started a game, was put on. Greg Wild, who's only 20, was put on. Andrew Little, 22, and it's just his first appearance of the season. That shows you the problems that Rangers have as far as depth the squad is concerned.
Yeah, that's just on the football side, and then you know what's going on behind closed doors in the boardroom. It's not good for Rangers all round, Liam.
Consider Celtic could bring on their top scorer for the season off the bench yesterday as Dundee United go for goal again. Stuart Armstrong's shot, which didn't duly trouble Alan McGregor, as Robbie Nielsen and Lee Wallace clash on the touchline. And cards coming out again.
Yeah, he's getting booked for Shoney Studs. Tackle now that's outlawed, but it could have been a sore one, but yeah, watch these tackles, just rule them out the game. That's part and parcel. I don't see how we can tackle there without Shoney Studs. It's got to know as a player, as a referee, how players tackle. And you can't tackle with your studs on the ground, you break your ankle.
Aluko. And just looking for something to grasp onto in the Scottish Cup 5th round tie. And it's hooked over the crossbar. Well, it's actually Little that had the shot here as it came across from Shawnee Aluko. Kerkar was waiting in the middle as well. There was Little, just in the edge of the 6-yard box, scooping it over the bar.
I think that's a great opportunity, probably one of Rangers' best. If he just hits the target, he probably scores. Got himself in a good area, Andy Little, but it comes from the wide area where Rangers have to get it more, whether it's Aluko, whether it's Greg Wild down this side or Wallace overlapping, but make sure you get behind and get balls in the box, because that's exactly what happens. Great chance.
Dundee United yet to look to the bench. Peter Houston happy the way things are going. Perhaps use them to eat up time when the game goes into its dying embers. Gary Kenneth could have buried Rangers too long ago with a header. There's Gavin Gunning's header, Johnny Russell's strike, as Dundee United 2-0 up. Both those goals coming in the first half. Aluko pinched away by Robertson. Rankin.
Goyan had to get that tackle right, just been booked for similar. John Daly gets to the ball and Goyan makes it perfectly, but had to.
Former Stoia Bucharest player, he had 4 years there. He was Palermo in Serie A for a couple of seasons before he came in primarily as a replacement for Magi Bugera. That's Kenneth. Daly was offside. United's top scorer, John Daly, scored 14 this season. Ali McCoist won the Scottish Cup just once in his playing career. Incredibly, his last game for Rangers was when they lost the final at Celtic Park to Hearts.
McCoy's getting greyer by the day. Liam with the problems. Andy Little, really sore one there. Two of them going for the ball. Is it Gunning that's down with them? But two, he can't break his fall. You'll see here, he doesn't get time to, just hits the deck. Oh, bit of whiplash here.
That's a really sore one. Poleaxed. There's Andy Little. So he's okay. Both of them, they clash their heads. They have to stop the game immediately for that. But that is a really sore one. We can't take any chances with that.
It's the old head knock. I mean, he gets two. Gunning clatters into the back of his head. So Gunning's taking a sore one. He looks in trouble as well. And then he gets a header in the back of the net, Little, the head, Little, and then as I say, he can't get the arms down to break the fall. It's a double whammy for him.
Well, Little's back on his feet, Gunning's on the deck, and these are the goals that separate the two teams, Billy Dodds.
Well, they don't deal with the original corner, and then Rankin puts in a ball, comes back to Mackay Stephen and a delivery, and then Rangers don't organise themselves, and then well, I was talking you through this one. Chelik drops his runner, Bartley gets himself in trouble, Goyan has to cover him. Bocanegra can't cover across in time, but take nothing away from United. Slick passing all the way through and a tremendous finish from Russell.
Well, happy to report both players look as though they're going to be okay to continue. That's good news. Gavin Gunning there looked as though he was struggling when he was on the deck. Both teams down to 10 at the moment. We are almost into the final 15 minutes. Rangers 0, Dundee United 2. Kyle Bartley towards Kerkar, wins it, finds Davis. Greg Wild, way too much on it. Aluko keeps it in. Bartley. Edu. Davis tried to work it back to Edu, but Armstrong read it for Dundee United. Now Davis again. Gavin Gunning and Andy Little racing back onto the park now.
Yeah, Rangers didn't have enough in the box because Little was off in that last cross from Greg Wild, but at least they got it wide.
Kenneth away for United. Trying to preserve their two-goal cushion. Edu. He's going to have a go here. Well wide.
As I said before, with that Luca long-range shot, Edu picks up this time. United will be happy. Just letting Rangers shoot from distance. That's only, what, 25 yards out? That's not going to be keeper like Pernis.
Change for United then. Stuart Armstrong replaced by Willow Flood. Former Celtic player. Into his third spell at Dundee United. Did 2 previous loans here when he was at Cardiff. Wallace. Wild. To combine again. Kenneth clearing. Bocanegra. The Rangers need to find a spark from somewhere. It's been lacking all afternoon for them.
Just thinking that on the pitch, and then they give something to the fans to give them a lift, and they'll get behind the team, but it's so flat, and it's a flat performance, and then that means nothing's coming from the stands. And what, with 13 minutes to go now, just looks like it's all over for Rangers, because they don't look as if they've got anything in their locker that's going to have the spark to break down this Rangers defence.
Rankin! Saved by McGregor. He scored a fantastic goal for Hibernian here last season.
Should I say the United defence, but it's the other end, that the Rangers defence are in trouble, where they get the ball. Rankin, he said we've not seen him a lot in the game. We haven't, because it's been a lot of defending, but gets himself forward. That's a good strike, but doesn't really trouble McGregor.
Wild. Away by Gunning. Edu. Dundee United standing firm. Kerkar. Well, they've got a problem here, Dundee United. Rankin made the challenge on the edge of his own penalty area. He's hurt himself in the process.
Yeah, he did catch a sore one, but again, great defending from him, because Kerkar gets a turn. Rankin times the challenge brilliantly, and Kerkar's swinging at the ball to hit the strike and catches him.
When you come to Glasgow, it's an opposing team, to play Rangers or Celtic, you need a performance level from start to finish, and that's something Peter Houston has got from every single one of his players today.
Yeah, you need a solid performance in terms of defensively, whether it's your strikers dropping off, making it hard, which United exactly, they've done that. Rankin playing a big part and organised, but you also have to have something offensive going forward, and they've certainly had that through Mackay-Steven, Johnny Russell and John Daly, where they can spring a counter. So perfect tactics for United so far in the match.
Have Rangers been as poor as this all season?
Nah, you can see the trouble is now getting onto the pitch, because they need something to come from, whether it's a bench or somebody to trigger something on the park. They just don't seem to have it, and the players seem to be affected by what's happening at boardroom level.
Greg Wild. Blocked by Nielsen. So much experience, Robbie Nielsen. Been away from Scotland for a couple of years, brought back by Peter Houston. Goyan to Edu. Bartley. It's up high. Pernis keeps his eye on it.
Just that quality I was talking about. There are certain people and certain personnel in certain areas, and there you have it. The centre half, he's a centre half, an out-and-out centre half for me, playing right back. He's not comfortable, but he's not only playing right back and having to defend, he's having to get himself forward and then produce a bit of quality, get Rangers back in the game. And Bartley just gets that one all wrong, puts it miles over the crossbar.
So Ali McCoy's there. Such a proud moment for him when he became Rangers manager, but seldom have the Rangers managers had such a hard thing, such a hard time to deal with, and that's exactly what McCoist has got here. Well, we're into the final 10 minutes. Rangers need something to happen. They need it to happen now. Lee Wallace. Wild. Showed way too much of it to Willow Flood.
Took a touch too many. Once he knocks it past the first player, just deliver, but takes a second touch, and United can get another player round him in Willow Flood and clear the danger.
Flood came on for Armstrong. Much more of a defensive-minded player, Willow Flood, in comparison to Armstrong. Wallace to Davis. Davis's ball in, that's Pernis.
Only two hitting the box, Bartley getting down the right-hand side and Kerkar just standing in there. It's not going to be enough to get a breakthrough.
Once again, it's Gary Mackay-Steven on the far side. Maurice Edu, this time the offender, but it's Mackay-Steven who broke at pace.
How many players has he got booked today with his pace? It's a great outlet at this time in the game when Rangers have not really offered anything to get back in the game, and then suddenly you're not having to defend too much United, but when you do get forward, you just play it to that man Steven, and he drives forward, gets his team a free kick. They can take all the time they want.
Yellow card then for Mo Edu. Montenegro with the up and under, that's Kenneth. Davis. Now Kerkar. Wild trying to make a run into space, and he has found some space. If Kerkar can find him, at two tangerine jerseys surrounding the Algerian. He's overrun in the end. Davis. Edu robbed. Johnny Russell now. 2-on-2. Goyan wins that one against Johnny Russell. Davis leaves it for Kerkar, goes down. Free kick Rangers.
It was an opening, as Davis had got himself forward. Wild on the left, Edu hitting the box. They had Andy Little in there as well, but Gary Kenneth does the right thing. Takes Kerkar out, holds up the play and gets plenty of men behind the ball for his team.
Just over 7 minutes remaining at Ibrox. Davis and Aluko over this. Aluko scored a free kick against Hibs last week from the other side of the box. Who will it be? The right of Davis or the left of Aluko? It is Aluko, and it's over.
it just sums up their day. Just disappointment all round the stadium, whether it's boardroom, whether it's on the pitch, whether it's the fans. But when you need a look with that little bit of quality hit the target, he just doesn't even connect or look just confident of hitting that target, puts it miles over the crossbar.
So Craig White watching on with Ali Russell sitting to his right. It's been a roller coaster already for him since taking over here last May. He's trying to steady the Ibrox ship, because that did include the £5 million transfer of Nikita Jelavic to Everton on Tuesday. A lot of work to be done before things are right. As Aluko spreads it out to Greg Wild. Do or die for Rangers. Wild. It's for Bartley. Is there a push? There was.
He's winning it anyway, he doesn't have to do it. I mean, the United player makes the most of it, but you can't do that. It's Gary Mackay, Stephen Batley. He's winning it, he's going to win the ball. Don't know what he's thinking.
$17,822 inside Ibrox this afternoon, as Dundee United look likely to move into the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup. Wild. Rangers' need is urgent. Wallace through, looking for Edu, blocked by Rankin. And there's another challenge by Kyle Bartley. Now Kyle Bartley will be dealt with by Willie Collin, but again, it's Gary Mackay-Steven who wins the free kick.
He just draws free kicks, whether it's his pace, how quick feet he's got. But you see the ball into him, knows Bartley's coming. They've had a little bit of afters before the match and have some of that, son, but he's made another Rangers player pick up yet another yellow card.
4 bookings apiece.
Rangers need something to happen. I mean, now, to be quite honest, they're going to go out the cup with a whimper. There's been absolutely nothing to lift the fans in this performance whatsoever. I know there's problems off the park, but you still get some quality on the park. You've got Davis there, you've got Goyan, you've got Aluko. You've got players on there that can do something, but they've not shown it today.
It's got to be dispiriting, though, for them when they see the back pages every day.
I'm not blaming them. I just know, as a player, the fans are looking to people like those players to do something, but they've not been able to do it today. But that's down to a great United all-round performance.
Yeah, can't take anything away from them. They were swashbuckling in the first half. In the second, they've been thoroughly professional. But here's Davis trying to give Rangers some light at the end of the tunnel. Kerkar. Edu. Bartley in space on the right. Edu instead into the middle. Little couldn't get onto it. Nielsen puts it anywhere. Anywhere will do. Some heading for the exits. They believe the Scottish Cup is over for another year for them. For Dundee United, they are, of course, looking to win it for a second time in 3 years. This is Johnny Russell. There's a meat in the sandwich, Johnny Russell. Wallace and Aluko were there in attendance. Davis. Wild. Aluko trying to return it to him. Edu and Robertson come together. Robertson's taking a sole one. United want to play on. Robertson and Edu still in the deck. Robertson holding on to his head, so play will stop.
Yeah, Mackay-Steven releases Dixon as well. But they had to pull it back. Good refereeing for Willie Collin. Just an elbow on the head of Scott Robertson, and Edu picks up a sore one as well.
Rangers, who have the best defence in the SPL, trailing Dundee United by 2-0. And United will make a change, and it will be the new boy. Milos Lachny will come on. He's going to replace Gary Mackay-Steven, who put in a terrific shift. It's our first look at Lachny. The Slovakian under-21 international. He's on loan from Sparta Prague. Bit of a trial at Celtic in the summer. The United fans hoping they've got another new hero here in Lachney.
Yeah, he'll be straight up front, and Johnny Russell, he'll go away to the left-hand side down. Played his part, Johnny Russell, great finish for the second goal, but get a glimpse of Lachney, shall we say, the last couple of minutes or so.
Peter Houston must be delighted to be able to bring on his new signing, give him a taste of it the last couple of minutes of a game at Ibrox when they're 2-0 up.
Yeah, that's the stage of that. It's how easy it's been for them.
Well, here he goes. Lachney putting Bocanegra under pressure. McGregor comes out. There's a really slow one there. Lachney involved. McGregor is raging with the Slovakian. He's getting back to his feet now, and Willie Collins having to calm this down.
I honestly didn't think he was going to go for the challenge. He's positive, he drives. McGregor's there, Bocanegra's there. But it shows he's brave because he goes in for a challenge that I think he's coming off second best, and everybody's taking a while up there, and Willie Collins got his work cut out to sort this one out.
He has had a busy day, Willie Collins. The card's coming out here for the man who's just on, Milos Lachney.
Welcome to Scotland.
Yeah. Straight into the thick of it. The 9th booking. Alan McGregor booked as well. The 10th booking. Well, he was giving Bocanegra a headache there, wasn't he?
Leaves his foot and he's brave, but McGregor, you know the type of goalkeeper, he's going to clean out everything. Cleans out Bocanegra, cleans out Lachney. Whoa, tell you, I think McGregor's done his own player.
Into the final 20 seconds of the 90 minutes. Kyle Bartley. You do feel it's a lost cause for Rangers now. The damage done by Gavin Gunning and Johnny Russell in the first half. The 1,100 Dundee United fans who made the trip to Glasgow preparing to celebrate, so too those back in the city of discovery. It looks like another famous Scottish Cup victory for the Tangerines. 4 minutes being added on at the end, and we're into the first of those. Daly.
They might come back to haunt me, but they could stick 40 on that board, Liam, and I don't think it's enough to see Rangers getting back in this match.
Another sore one this time, Jordan Rankin. Nielsen. Daly. Johnny Russell hasn't, he will just slow the pace right down. And then pick it up again. It's away from Goyan, Bocanegra gets rid of it. Salim Kerkar. Davis. Well, it would be some comeback if Rangers could do something now. Wild. Davis. Little, trying to find Wild, who slips, and it's Dusan Pernis. Plenty to think about Ali McCoist, hasn't he? A real contrast between the two. Peter Houston, primarily an assistant manager to Craig Levein before he took the reins when Craig Levein took the Scotland job. Ali McCoist replacing a former Scotland manager in Walter Smith, desperately trying to retain the league title, and that is all they're going to have left to play for.
We all know that the problems, and the club is in disarray. There's no problem being about the bush about that. But I would have to say on the pitch, Ali McCoist, and I'll be the first to admit it, I think this is one of his team's most disappointing performances of the season, and he'd have been looking for something from some of them today, and most of his team, just that rallying cry, anything just to get something on the pitch happening, try and take away from the boardroom. But honestly, he must be so disappointed down there because they've offered nothing today. And the playing side, Rangers.
Gavin Gunning off, you can see he has got blood coming from his head there. Sean Dillon, his Irish compatriot, joining the fray. He wasn't fit enough to start today. Sean Dillon, he will enjoy the full-time whistle, as everyone else in Tangerine will. And it's important because the headlines will, I'm sure, be about Rangers' ills. But Dundee United have been fantastic today. Exactly what they wanted. and certainly evoking memories of their run to the Scottish Cup a couple of seasons back. They all want silver again. Davis with a long ball, that's Dillon. The final minute. Aluko, there's simply no time left for Rangers to rescue this. Jinky run from Aluko, that was for Little. Flood will try and prevent the corner. Well, there's Stephen Thompson, the Dundee United chairman, another proud day for him. It came off for Robertson, Russell with a header. Davis. Bartley. It would just be consolation for Rangers if they were able to breach Dundee United here. Kerr's shot's blocked. That's Johnny Russell. And right to the end, Johnny Russell going in Bocanegra. As that comes in for Little, that goes wide, and that is that.
It's a chance, a half chance, because he's a long way out from the header, probably 13, 14 yards, and gets himself just behind Gary Kennethorpe into that area between him and Dillon, but just can't direct the header on target. Andy Little.
Well, the injury time's up. Dundee United have come to Glasgow and have beaten Rangers. They will progress to the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup. For the second time in just 3 seasons, Dundee United have knocked the Ibrox side out of the Scottish Cup. Johnny Russell got the second goal, thumping it past Alan McGregor, who you see there. Much to the delight of them, the Arabs rejoice in the Govan West corner inside Ibrox. Gavin Gunning had given Dundee United the lead with a bullet header from a fantastic cross. Dundee United were fantastic, particularly in the first half. In the second, they were resilient. They did not let Rangers through. Rangers were toothless. And it is Dundee United who go through to the last 8. It really is the full stop to a horror week for Rangers when they lost their top scorer. They dominated the back pages of the newspapers all week about what's going on at boardroom level, what's going on inside this club. But what's going on for Peter Houston and Dundee United is that they are in tomorrow's draw for the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup. A dream result for the Terrors. It finishes here at Ibrox. Rangers 0, Dundee United 2.
So Dundee